Hey guys, very good morning. In continuous to previous discussion, AWS service and global infrastructure, this is the part 3. In my previous discussion, I discussed what is AWS region and availability zone, on what basis you can select the regions and availability zone. But before going and selecting any of the regions or deploying the services, you have to follow some mandatory step. If you do not follow that step, you cannot select any of the AWS service. So the first step is AWS account. You have to create AWS account. And to create AWS account, you need email ID and your debit card or credit card. With that email ID, you can subscribe AWS account. And AWS also provide account for 1 year free. You can use that account for your lab testing and demonstration. Okay. So there are multiple services freely available for some time period. You can deploy those services and use freely for that particular time period. Once you subscribe and create AWS account, AWS provide a 12-digit account number that is virtual identity for you. Whatever the services you are deploying or using inside that particular account, AWS charge based on the uses and provide the bill into that particular account. So once you activate the account, right, you can log in with that email ID what you have used to subscribe. That email ID is known as the root account, and it is not recommended to use the root account. You should create IAM user. IAM user is identity and access management. It's like local user of your computer. To get more detail, you can watch my video, IAM video, which is I have uploaded in my channel. So now you understand what is the basic requirement. You have created AWS account, and once you create AWS account, the service is available for you. And based on the location, take an example, you have selected Oregon regions, so user majority is in Oregon, and you want to deploy the virtual machine. To deploy the virtual machine, first of all, you have to design the network or configure the network. To configure the network, first of all, you have to create a VPC. VPC is virtual private cloud. AWS also provide a default VPC, but it is not recommended to use. But if you are new and it's the first time for you, so you can use the default VPC for your practice. And to understand what is VPC in detail, you can watch my video what I have uploaded VPC video. So to deploy a virtual machine, so there are some category of the applications, right, which require the VPC, okay, which require the network. If you have not VPC, you cannot deploy those services. So let's see what all those services. So there are some services which you can deploy without VPC, and there are some services which you need VPC to deploy those services, like S3 bucket, DynamoDB, CloudFormation. These services are you can deploy without VPC. And EC2 instance, RDS, EFS, LB, Beanstalk, and there are some other services which, if you are planning to deploy, you need the VPC account, virtual private cloud infrastructure first. And whatever, take an example, this is my regions, and I have created one VPC. Under one region, you can create multiple VPC. Whatever the resources you are deploying under one VPC, these VM can communicate to each other, and you can activate all availability zones available under that particular regions. So take an example, if there are 3 availability zones available in this particular regions, so these availability zones will not available for you by default. What you need to do to activate these region availability zone for your services. So to deploy a VPC, what you have to do is you have to allocate a CIDR block. Okay, you can choose the CIDR block, whatever available in your network or based on your requirement. So I have used CIDR block 1000. It is a 16 actually. Mistakenly, I have mentioned 20, so it is 16. And then what you have to do is you have to split the CIDR block into the subnet. Like I created 3 subnet here. So 10.0.0/20, 10.0.0.16/20, and 10.0.32/20. And then what you have to do is you have to associate this subnet to any of the availability zone. At the moment you associate this subnet with the availability zone, this availability zone activated and available for you. Okay, so this is very much important. If you do not, take an example, you associated the subnet with all availability zone apart from this, so this availability zone is not available for you. So what you have to do is you have to create a subnet and associate with availability zone. And second thing, one subnet can be part of one availability zone. However, an availability zone can be part of multiple subnet. So the second subnet I have associated with my different availability zone, and third subnet I have associated with my third availability zone. Once you associate the subnet, this availability zone will available for you and you can deploy the virtual machine. And once you deploy the virtual machine, you can use those virtual machine or access those virtual machine. And if you want to access those virtual machine from external network like public or from private network, so there are some steps which you have to follow. So I'll recommend to go and watch the video related to the VPC. And guys, that's all for today, and thanks for watching. Please give a thumbs up, share, and subscribe my channel.